going on, you speed dating simpletons? Welcome to Grunt Speak, and not so.
Live from the lair.
I'm Toxic Male. That's the Rotund Revenger, and we had an article for you today that we just felt had to be tackled in the ride and roast style.
All right, now, before we get into this is starting to become bigger and bigger in the media.
Yes, it is.
Because women are starting to feel the pinch.
Yep, this is the perfect example right here. Everybody saw this one. Coach Greg Adams, I think, did a whole podcast on this.
Yep.
Woman goes to a singles mixer. Only women show up, sparking debate.
All right. Now, let's just put this into perspective. Back in the day, men would march to their fucking deaths just for the hope of getting a piece of poon. And that was maybe 50 years ago. How miserable do you have to turn the dating scene before men are like, fuck it, I'm out?
Like, here's a place where women are congregating specifically to meet us. Yeah. No big deal. Here, let's do what you're used to, ladies. So you don't need to go to a singles mixer for this.
Millions and millions of years of evolution that drive our sex drive. And in less than 50 years, women have shot that in the fucking penis.
With buckshot. I think there's tons of holes, and now when we piss, it looks like the Bellagio fountain in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, goddamn. Holy crap. I mean, just think about that.
It's bad.
Isn't that insane? Like 6 out of 1,000 are getting married.
Yep. And these singles mixers pop up all over the country, and very few, if any, men show up to them at all.
Yeah. And guess what? It's only getting worse because more men out there are discovering the red pill.
Mm-hmm.
And women are not liking it. Or have you heard about the passport bros?
I have not.
They're guys who just said, fuck American women, and they get passports. They go overseas to go after those women, which I don't recommend bringing them back. But I understand why men are doing that. Oh, fuck.
Of course your phone's going to go off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
I'm turning it off right now.
No big deal. We'll just throw this up on the screen because, ass in a wine glass is never a bad thing.
Yes.
Our article today, we can't be shocked by this title. Why don't guys approach me? Where? Could be because you're insufferable.
It could be one of the 7 deadly sins.
That's true.
All right. Because guess what? People don't want to hang around arrogant, prideful, individuals who actually show the 7 deadly sins.
Yep.
It's not wise.
And when you look at this woman's face, this is the author of the article, Nicole Graham, and she is a self-proclaimed relationship expert at womenio.com. Nicole is helping women grow into their best selves so they can be confidences and bring more loveses and passionses and purposes to their lives. I'm channeling my inner salty cracker.
I like it.
Nicole enjoys studying the psychology of love and is passionate about writing on them. She offers helpful tips and advice to help overcome any relationship issue, whether you're single or already in a relationship. Yes, because as we all know, going to women for relationship advice always ends well.
Oh, yeah. It's not a good thing.
It's like going to the coach of the opposing team and being like, so how do I beat you guys? And you just expect him to be honest with you.
And here's the thing, though, is I legitimately think a lot of these women that do this, they're following good intentions. But subconsciously, women, there's a reason why women came up with the word frenemy.
Frenemy, yeah.
Frenemy, whatever. Frenemy, whatever.
Lysdexia.
Men don't have that. If you're an asshole, men are like, fuck you, and that's it.
Exactly. And we did a whole video on how the fat positivity movement, what that's really all about. I believe we called it the evil truth about body positivity. And really, when you boil it down, it's all about thinning the herd by keeping it nice and fat.
Yeah. And listen, men like what they like.
Yeah. And you can't,
And it's proven men like the waist to hip. There's a certain waist to hip ratio that men like.
because it speaks to healthy childbearing. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what is the core premise of female-male relations?
Have kids.
Promulgating the species.
That's right.
There you go.
That is the number one goal.
Yep. And women have taken that and
Like I said earlier, when we
Tossed it
first
away.
started this, like millions and millions of years of evolutionary drive has been killed in half a century or less. And we owe it to the feminists.
yes, we do. And when you read articles like this, you can't really argue the point, because if there's one thing that this article has to teach the ladies out there who are going to Miss Nicole Graham for advice, I'm assuming it's Miss and not Mrs.,
Yeah.
it's that nothing is ever your fault. It's always men's problem, and we're going to get into it right here.
Yeah. And you never learn with a mindset like that, you never learn.
Exactly. If nothing is ever your fault, you never have any reason to grow and work on yourself.
Absolutely correct.
Which is why 40-year-old women who got married young still behave like teenagers.
Oh, you mean 30 the new 15?
Oh, yeah.
It's totally true.
Not that we would know about that or anything.
But it is true.
Yes, it is. Let's see. Approached by a handsome guy makes a girl's heart flutter. I'm assuming that this was supposed to begin with the word being approached by a handsome guy. Makes a girl's heart flutter and gets you all giddy with excitement. You want to be that girl who's always getting asked for her number or asked to hang out, but it just doesn't happen. Have you ever wondered why? Have you ever asked yourself, why don't guys approach me? More commonly known as, where have all the good men gone? Wait. There are many reasons why a guy doesn't approach a woman he likes. Some of them are obvious, while others may not even occur until we think about the situation more deeply. So here's what I've learned from my own experiences, as well as those of other women in similar situations.
Let the propaganda begin.
You like to stay home. Now, I understand this one.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's perfectly understandable, because if you're at home and men are approaching you, they're usually greeted with a mace, bat,
Or the cops.
shotgun, cops. Yeah. Maybe if the mailman is cute, you invite him in for a little way, hey, hey, and it ends with a little bit of this, and then you're all done.
Yeah.
Gotta stuff that mail in my box. It's
But
first class express delivery.
listen, I like to stay home. I can't even hang out in bars, especially if they're busy anymore.
Oh, yeah. I've always been more of a homebody.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
And especially, I've never been a fan of the bar scene, because it's just, one, it's loud, it's noisy, it's obnoxious, and it's too damn expensive. And you're just surrounded by people who just, this is what they do.
And women who hang out in bars are bar whores. You are not going to find wife material in a bar.
No.
It's
cannot-
not going to happen.
You cannot shake the 304 tree and expect a wife to fall out.
That's right. I made that mistake. Don't be me. All right, I made that mistake.
It's one of my favorite lines you ever wrote. It was hilarious.
But I have made that error, and it's stupid.
Yeah. But let's see what staying at home does to these women here. It's probably going to be self-explanatory. So come to think of it, that's probably one of the many and varied reasons why guys don't ask you out, because you're not a social animal. Maybe you like spending time alone. You like to go to work, school, then come home straight after. Home means safety, security, and comfort. This is not bad. Sure, you're an introvert. Maybe you're shy. You could be the pretty but shy girl that guys actually want to ask out but don't, but because they never see you outside. If so, well, I think this is easier to remedy than any of the other reasons if you want to help it at all. Remember that not everyone wants to be asked out. Some people are simply happier alone. This doesn't mean that they hate men or something. It only means that they're not ready to mingle yet, or maybe they just don't want to. But what about the girls who go out and don't get asked out? Well, let's see those reasons. Okay, so then why put this on the list?
Yeah, I know.
It's self-explanatory.
It is.
But, you have to pad it out so that it looks like it's worth reading.
Well, this woman is writing propaganda. So she has to weave the lies together with fluff.
Well, half of these dating coach articles are repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, because it's propaganda fluff.
Yeah. And this is when the propaganda, see, now you begin with something
That's plausible.
Plausible. It's this one will say common sense.
Yeah, if
People
you're not,
who, stay at home introverts.
if you don't put the target up on the end of the range, it's not going to get shot at.
No, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, and in this case, the target would be your lower back.
Yes.
Or lately now, it's the between the boob tattoos, which automatic wave off.
Well, you got to cement them together.
Is that what guys do when they're trying to push them together into one big one?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they want the third one.
Maybe. You got to figure it out.
I wonder if a woman's ever been born with 3 tits.
Total Recall.
I know. I was just thinking.
It was a Rob Bottin special effect, but it was a good one. You look like the best part of an iceberg, so you're fat.
That's exactly what comes. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because most of the women in the West are overweight, and they're absolute bitches. So you can't even let them glancing below you. They'll sink your ship like the Titanic.
Well, it's the average dress size is now 18.
18.
Wow.
So I mean, like men have to.
insane.
There's this list of shit men have to jump through just to get a chance, of getting married and having kids. And they get rewarded at the end of this long fucking trek with a size 18 dress. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's
Not worth it.
It's a big reward, but it's not the one you were after.
Yeah, that could be a reason you're not being approached because
Very
you
well
are gravitationally challenged.
But are you ready for the propaganda?
I am.
Are you ready on the right?
Up.
Ready on the left?
Yep.
Here we go.
There we go.
You look too serious or intimidating.
Resting bitch face over 6.
Yep. A lot of guys are easy to intimidate.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Well, if you want to intimidate a man, you have to actually threaten him with violence of some type. Okay?
This is psychological projection
It
in a
is.
nutshell right here. Most of them have fragile egos, and if they think that you are unassailable, they're just not going to bother. Why even attempt it when it looks like their charm won't work anyway, right?
Well,
Women know damn well they don't intimidate men.
Well, hang on. The fragile ego. Have you ever seen a woman who got turned down?
Oh, yeah. This
mean,
is why I said this is psychological projection. If you want to know who really cannot handle rejection, say no to a woman.
That's right. Because, like, back in the day,
Yep.
I was getting shot down like 18, 20 times in a row before I even got a 1 maybe.
Yeah, women don't understand because they're unable to break themselves out of their solipsistic echo chambers that rejection is the default setting for a single man.
Yeah. And
We become so used to it, we shrug it right off.
that's right.
And then you see these tweets from or TikTok videos of these women saying like, "Oh, this guy that I cured for a year, he found somebody else, and she's better looking than me, and I don't know what to do." Like, well, you treated him like shit. You friend zoned him. He moved on and found somebody else.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was interested in you, and you said, "Oh, I'm just not really feeling it." Oh, you know what? I felt the same way. Have a good one.
And he moved on.
I'm devastated.
And that actually is.
It happens all the time.
Happens. Women are. They keep these 2 or 3 guys in the friend zone as the insurance policy.
Yeah.
And then they dip out and they're all upset about it.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
I had a chick. I bedded her down a couple of times. It wasn't anything serious. We had chemistry, but we didn't really click. Like, okay, I can't really have a conversation with you, but you're cute enough. And then after that, it was, well, yeah, I just don't think it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no big deal. Take care. Have a good one. What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know what you want.
Nobody pushed you into anything.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I've been there a few times. At my age, I'm starting to actually see what happened to a lot of the women that were doing this shit back in the day. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not pretty.
No.
And I've had 2 of them, well, actually 3. Always, like a couple times a year, send me a message or 2 on Facebook. Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's going on? And I'll be like, hey, same thing as last time. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, I actually had to look her in the face and go, hey, you put me in the friend zone. I'm not mad about that at all. I like it there. So you and I, we're just friends. And like they can't wrap their head around that. And they get pissed off.
They do.
When you're like, I'm sorry, you put me in the friend zone. I'm cool there. I mean,
just think about this. It takes a special kind of stupid, let's just be honest, to claim that men can't handle rejection and we have fragile egos when you can't even handle a man accepting rejection
Yeah.
with grace and dignity.
20
Give me a break.
Like a dude goes into a crowded bar, he's going to encounter that probably 3 to 5 times that night,
Yep.
especially if he's there, poon hunting.
Which, let's be honest, if dudes are
most-
there, it's probably what they're there for.
Well, they're dick thinking. They're all usually less than 34 going, oh, yeah, oh, break me off a piece of hair.
Let's dive back into this psychological projection.
There we go.
Think about it this way. If you're too serious or unapproachable, the guys will not want to bother you. They will assume you don't like them and will look elsewhere for a girl. How do we fix this dilemma? It depends. If you're doing it on purpose, you must have your reasons and probably not read this article. But if you aren't, if you're actually warm and bubbly and interested, but just don't look like that, well then, we can remedy that. Can we?
I don't think so.
If your face is a mood ring and you just...
Yeah. If you have like an 8 body and a 4 face, you're going to get averaged out.
Butterface.
Yep.
So how are we going to remedy that? Say, how, you ask? Easy. If you're the kind of person who is too straightforward to flirt and too serious, at least on the outside, to deal with the dance, use it to your advantage. Who says only guys can ask you out, right? Maybe you can express interest in your own unique way and ask the guy out, or maybe take it easy and ask for his number. If he's intimidated and runs away, he's not for you. It's that simple.
And that's absolutely correct. That's the way men think all the time.
Or you're just, he looks you up and down, he gauges the math in his head, and he thinks, not worth it.
Yep. Nope.
Done.
I'm taking a pass.
Or let's just be honest, people have a type. If you're not his type, he's not going to be interested in you.
Or
and most people's type is not bitchy and selfish.
If they look like they just walked out of a body shop getting the bump and grind work, you just can, like, if she has to put that kind of work in just to look like a 7,
Yeah.
you don't want to get stuck with that for the rest of your life. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Well, once you take the Peaky Blinders off, it's game on.
Yep.
Uh-oh. But, we're the shallow ones, right?
Yeah, right. Beauty at any size.
Yep.
Okay.
Beauty
sure.
at any size, except for fat guys and short dudes. Of course, just because it looks simple on paper doesn't mean it is easy in reality. Well, that's funny because you just said it was easy.
Yep. But this is actually fairly common. The flip-flop, the logic dams,
Yeah.
the redirects.
Well, this is what happens when you try to package emotional thinking in a common sense box. It's going to sound insane.
I never heard it described like that.
You can't rationalize emotions because that's what they are. They're emotions. They're knee-jerk. Mm-hmm. Just like attraction cannot be negotiated because it's knee-jerk. Now, you can grow to become attracted to someone over time for different reasons, like personality, sense of humor, etc.
But in the
But that
beginning,
initial attraction is either instantaneously there or it's not.
that's right.
And-
You cannot manufacture that.
Yeah, and you can't shame people into finding a 450-pound morbidly obese Heffalo knee-jerk attractive.
Or a loose gay butt twerking queer individual.
Yes, or a transformer. Now their new thing is the Colorado guy. It's like the transformer comes on scene and I can just tell by looking at him he's a man.
Here we go.
Think about it.
Think of what you just
Think
said.
about what you just said. You just put ammo in the chamber.
So the guy's the Sam.
Yep.
Sir, ma'am.
Sir, ma'am.
Yeah. Or Sam.
Sam.
Yeah.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
Watch out for the Sam missile.
Horrible. But that's exactly why you guys are here.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Of course, just because it looks simple on paper doesn't mean it's easy in reality. So yes, you have to practice picking up guys in front of the mirror. Don't worry. Practice makes perfect.
Men do this all the time.
Yeah, your reflection is really a good representation of what people are going to react to.
When I was in my teens, I did the same thing.
Things happen.
It's called rehearsal.
Yep. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you wind up looking like an idiot. And that's all part of growing up.
That's right. In fact, there's lots of times as an adult I look like an idiot. Man, I'm cool with it.
That's totally cool, yeah. I mean, we have been called every name in the book for the past 10 years.
12, yeah.
Don't care.
Listen, I mean, literally, I don't even get mad anymore.
No, because it's all the same.
It's all the same
It's
shit.
all the same shit.
You hate your mother, blah, blah. Okay.
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
You could ask the same of the person who wrote this article.
Correct.
Guys assume you're taken. No, that's, to be fair. If you're very attractive, guys will assume you're taken. Another reason is maybe he thinks you're already in a relationship. You see, there's a reason why guys go on fishing expeditions when they talk to ladies. Some of the more infamous lines like, "What's a pretty girl like you doing at a dump like this?" Or, "Are you here with someone?" After all, it is polite not to infringe on another man's business, you know. Most men actually respect boundaries. This is why they won't move on you. They feel taken vibes from you. Some ladies give off this vibe, especially when they wear overly large sweaters, don't have much makeup on, and such. Now, this is interesting that she's admitting that men can respect boundaries because the feminists have been telling me forever that that's not the case at all.
1 out of 5 women are raped in college.
Yeah, totally. But men respect boundaries.
Yeah, right.
Admitted by an effeminist. It's amazing how this works.
But it's only say that because it's convenient for the article.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the fact is, most leftoids will debunk their own arguments when they're talking about something unrelated and not realize it.
Absolutely correct. Because there's no consistency.
Exactly. Just like the Transformer on CNN. Well, he's a man, I can just tell.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
You're putting emotion in the logic box.
Now look in the mirror.
Emotion in the logic box.
Take a look in the mirror and now adjust your dick.
Yep.
Just saying. No, it doesn't mean you look dumpy. Well, it might. What I mean is that you look like you don't want to pay extra attention to your appearance because you already have a boyfriend who's madly in love with you and doesn't care what you look like. Well, that's true to a point. Gain 150 pounds and
pull the pin on the factor and see what the collateral damage will be.
Yeah, so there's no incentive for women to maintain anymore because they can just cut sling load with half your shit.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. If you are single, make sure to look as good as you can without going into too much trouble, because contrary to popular opinion, no one falls in love with your personality at first sight. Amen. Guys will definitely only look at you twice if you look nice. It's good Dr. Seuss rhyme. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Twice if you look nice.
Guys will look twice if you look nice.
Uh-huh.
Or they'll look twice if they look nice.
Yeah. 2 reasons.
2 reasons. And they apply to all men. Even gay dudes are like, yeah, those look kind of fun. But, I'll take the hairy ass. And then I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it doesn't work for me.
No.
Okay. Looking nice doesn't mean you have to go under the knife to become another Kendall Jenner. You can look nice and still be yourself. Girl, get a shower and fix your hair. You won't be asked out if you look homeless. I would say the same is true of both genders.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2.
That's right. If you're a dude and you look like you just got done begging for change on the corner, probably not going to work. It's not going to work out for you in a bar. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, and then there's some women though. They just like there's a meme that I saw. I don't have it, but off the top of my head, it's like a room with barely any furniture in it, mattress on the floor, no nightstand, just a lamp sitting there, like rolled up weed papers and stuff all crumbled up next to the bed. Why is it that the guys who live in this environment always have the best dick?
Because that's all they got.
That's all. Well, I don't have money. I can't take you on a date, but I can blow your back out.
I'll manipulate those flaps until I can signal in the big O.
I am an expert at playing the organ.
Yeah.
As long as it's not in a cathedral. Disgusting. Oh, and here we go.
What?
You're too perfect to be real.
I said no man ever when he first meets a woman.
This is the main thing. Women are perfect. See, it's men who have to learn how to deal with our intimidation factor.
How many times do you have to say this? We're not intimidated, and we don't care.
Yeah. And when you think about it, you don't have intimidation. You have men who have been conditioned now to not know how to talk to women because they've been told that, well, if you approach women, you could get a harassment charge, could get thrown in jail, could get accused of something you never did. And then the people out there who are still thirsty now think that OnlyFans is the safest way to interact with females,
Which is,
even though you're perpetuating the problem.
that is so unhealthy.
Yeah. You have men who have been just shunned and ostracized. They don't know how to approach women. It's not intimidation. They're literally handicapped by the modern dating climate, and most of them grew up without a father at home.
Yeah, and listen, there's a lot of guys out there now that have been effed over by women, most of them 2 or 3 times by the time they graduate high school.
Yep.
And then it just gets worse because the consequences get worse as you get older.
You're damn right.
Like you're with a woman and you're with her a couple years in college, and then she breaks up to go to, either get her a graduate, or you're the college practice boyfriend, and then they want the starter husband, which you're not.
The starter.
And then they move on to, the substitute husband, which will pay all the bills until they die.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't listen. I'm trying to get rid of the substitutes out there.
Yeah.
So
It would be nice if the Simstitutes would
stop simping.
go to an institute and do something.
Yeah, stop simping.
Stop simping, please. You're creating the same problem that you blame for not being able to score poon.
Yeah.
So stop it.
You're literally financing the bad decisions that are keeping your wiener dry.
Not going to say you're wrong. Maybe you just look out of reach for him, out of his league, This is not toxic positivity. For real, though, maybe a lot of guys like you and want to ask you out. It's just that, through no fault of your own, you look too heavenly, like a star. Too much so, in fact, that you appear to not even want to consider spending a lot of time with regular people. Appearances can be deceiving, and as previously mentioned, this is not your fault. Of course. If the guys are too insecure to ask you out, they should work on this issue and not you. Don't even try to talk yourself into dumbing yourself down or dimming your shine.
Okay.
That's funny because I seem to remember street harassment being a really big thing about 6 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now the guys who are not intimidated by you and will come up and flirt with you and, tell you like, hey, you got a pretty smile, you got, that dress looks great on you, they're creeps.
They got Me Too'd.
Yeah. But it's still not your fault.
Yeah, the men of today have been Me Too'd.
Yep.
They realize if they are not what you're looking for, merely speaking to you is enough to get them thrown out of the bar, get labeled as a creep, or maybe catch a charge.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no downside for the women to do that because they get away with it all the time.
Exactly. And there are no negative repercussions, even if it's a lie.
Correct. And like, what dude in their right mind is going to? Well, there's always the dude willing to put his dick in the glory hole. So
You're not wrong.
I guess there's going to be some guys out there that are going to meet grinder their life dealing with crazy bitches like this.
It's those dudes who just need a six-pack and some imagination. They make the rest of us look bad.
Oh, my God. You are absolutely correct. They like the toothless goat.
You're going to get a dick for it, bro. Stop it. We're not telling you what to do. We're just giving you advice because that's dude law.
No, we're not running a goddamn cult here, man.
No, if you disagree, fine.
That's fine.
No big deal. You do you, and just get tested. Thanks. Just saying. Let them grow to your level and come to you without any insecurities so you can have them thrown in jail because you don't find them attractive.
When you're 50.
Yeah. No, you're not perfect, but they think you are, and unless you spend all your time pretending to be perfect so other people will feel jealous and insecure, this is not your fault. In this scenario, I think the best thing to do would be to wait until the right man comes along. Of course, if you like one of the guys you think are beyond or think you're beyond his grasp, you can always take control of the situation. Try not to be too aggressive, though. Most men like this will just run away, so take it easy on them.
Well, there's been times in my past, where I'd go to the bar and there was 1 or 2 women in there that were just excessively gorgeous.
Yeah.
And when I finally did work up the nerve to talk to one of these women, she was an idiot. 2, she's emotionally stunted. And 3, if sperm was cement, this woman would have I-75 down her throat.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
The thousand rooster stare
Yeah.
is easily recognizable once you've seen it enough times.
Well,
And that's
now you can see it at high school graduations.
yeah.
Back in the day, you didn't see that till college graduating.
Mm-hmm. I've only got 138 bodies. It's not that much.
Wow.
There was a chick who counted the number of lollipops she sucked, and it was over 800.
That is.
And that math, that's like
800.
like 2 dicks a week for 2 years straight.
I mean, that's a 160-story building.
Yeah, and when somebody broke down the math by week, she's like, "Well, that's not that much."
I mean, where the hell do you get all these candidates?
No idea. Tinder, maybe.
Yeah,
Bumble.
there's always dudes that
Hinge
some simp out there.
Yeah.
I'll drive 40 miles to get my dick sucked.
And then what happens is these women all reach like 30, 31. The guys that they want no longer desire them because they tend to be more alpha and they can date younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then the betas who have been waiting in the wings all of a sudden start getting attention because they want resources and protection instead of just desire now. And they're like, oh, that's about time. I finally get to get mine. I'll get to break me off a piece. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're getting somebody else's leftovers.
Yeah, and when you finally do break off a piece, you have a whole movie theater full of Eskimo brothers.
Or in some cases, Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Listen, you do not want to be the dude who marries a 301, a 304.
No.
And especially if all your friends know she was a 304. I've already done that. It is not pleasant, and I highly recommend any young men out there thinking about, getting married, looking for love. I'm telling you, Western women, play it safe, because if you make an error, you'll be paying for that for the rest of your life.
Figuratively and literally.
You quite literally just rip your penis off by the stalk and ram it up your own ass because you're fucking your life.
Good luck shit normal after that.
Oh, my God.
But let's...
That's a nice one.
This is the last one on the, I guess, list, if you want to call it that.
Uh-huh.
Consider self-improvement? Yes. Blame yourself? No. Of course not.
That's why the problem never gets fixed.
Yes. Because self-improvement is hard, blaming other people is easy.
That's right.
Also, to get that extra glow, make sure to get plenty of sleep every night, at least 7 hours. Eat healthy meals at regular intervals throughout the day. What are you, a dietitian now?
Well, she's not wrong.
Instead of skipping breakfast or lunch, like those women who are too busy despairing about the question, why don't guys approach me? There are lots of reasons why guys don't ask girls out. Maybe they're shy, maybe they think you won't be interested in them, or maybe it's just too hard to find the words. Remember, it's not always about you, so maybe this isn't either. That's fair enough.
That's fair enough, yeah.
There has always been the stereotype that women should make the first move when it comes to dating, but in this day and age, many guys feel as though they need to be confident enough before approaching someone else. So if you're wondering why he doesn't ask you out, maybe it's because he's too shy or scared of rejection. No. Which means it's time for you to make the first move. And then women can write more articles about, I shouldn't have to approach men. Men are supposed to approach me.
It's going to get much worse.
I think the biggest problem is that women don't start asking this question, why don't guys approach me, until they're getting ready to smash full tilt at Mach 3 into the wall.
Typically, what I've noticed is right around 28, the baby rabies sets in a lot of these women, and they start actively looking to get married.
Yep.
Because they want to have the couple kids. And listen, if you're a dude and you're caught in that, you are just the breeder, dude.
Yeah.
Once she's got her fill of kids and the feels are gone, you're moving out to your refrigerator box with the cellophane windows.
Exactly. And really, that is the big problem, is that the women who are asking this question are the ones who said, screw relationships, I don't need a man, I just need my favorite part of him for 7 to 10 minutes at a time, and without that, his dishwasher-safe analog will do. And they do this from 15 to 30.
Correct.
And then, once they're used up, walled out, and stalled out, and they want to settle down, that's when men stop approaching them. because the stank that they give off is different. One, it's desperation. Two, we can smell when you've been ran through.
Oh, you can tell.
Yeah. See, desperation has inverse effects on men and women. Like, men can smell a desperate woman, and they'll be like, oh, okay, you're good for 7 to 10 minutes.
Yep.
Women smell a desperate man, and they call the cops.
They're disgusted.
Yes.
They're literally like, "Ugh," and you're going to get a knock on the door.
Yeah, you'll get, you'll be somebody's hobby for one night.
Yeah.
But that's really the best that you can hope for.
The bullseye in the bar.
So the problem is that people nowadays just don't understand that the time that we get on this primordial plane is finite.
Oh, yes, it is.
And everybody is behaving, especially in their 20s, like they're going to live forever. It's not going to happen.
Now, listen, I was one of those guys in my 20s that thought it was going to last forever. And let me tell you, it's really hard when you get around 45 as a dude and you realize, nope, I cannot do the same shit today that I did when I was 22.
Yep. And just like women who, if they grow up hot and all of a sudden one day they're 30, they might look better than other women their age, but the women their age all have baggage.
Correct.
Men can smell that. They avoid it.
Yeah, because baggage is expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need that.
And especially if it comes with, a couple of different doses of herpetogonosyphilades.
Yeah, herpetogonosyphiladitis.
Yeah, because if you're 31 and you think you're going to go out dating like you're 21, no, I'm sorry. People can smell the chlamydia and abortions on you, and it doesn't smell good. It smells like fish and bad decisions, and you should probably get yourself checked.
Yeah, I've actually pulled that line on a couple women, and they got really upset.
Well, what can I say? If men can smell chlamydia and abortions, it's a pretty good reason why they won't approach you.
Yep.
So, this woman could have answered her own question, but instead she decided to overinflate the already overinflated egos of the modern Western women thanks to the age of social media.
I'll say it isn't true.
No. This is why you never go to women for dating advice, because they're going to try to... They're just going to spin shit. They're not going to give you the reality. We give the reality, and we get ostracized for it.
Absolutely. Listen, I never thought we would move into an age where people who speak the truth are hated.
And yet here we are.
Yep, here we are.
Welcome to 2022. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching the video and supporting the channel. If you guys want to be kept up to date with these with these social media whores,
oh my God,
and their advice, which is totally going to work for you, by the way. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, well, it's Christmas time, and Popp does eat a lot of Del Taco and Pringles.
Get the fuck out of here.
We'll see you next time.